What is alternative splicing? The idea of alternative splicing is actually taking the same mRNA transcript and it can be spliced in different ways. This yields different mature mRNA molecules from the same initial transcript. Hence, will produce different proteins from the same gene. So, there are four main types of alternative splicing, which is alternative promoter selection, alternative tail site selection, alternative splicing by exon cassette selection, and trans-splicing. For alternative promoter selection, there are two alternative promoter are possible. If we start with promoter P1, the sequence will contain P2 and exon 2. Both of it will be spliced out. So it will produce mRNA1 that only contained exon 1, exon 3 and exon 4. Meanwhile, if we used promoter P2, exon number 1 will not be spliced out because it's not even part of the primary transcript. So it's then will produce exon 2, exon 3 and exon 4 without including exon 1 because it obviously not in the mRNA. For alternative tail site selection, it's quite possible to have two alternative site for adding the poly A tail. If we cleavage at the earlier poly A site, it will result in loss of distal exon which is exon 4. The mRNA sequenced will only consist of exon 1, exon 2, exon 3. Meanwhile, if we cleavage the later poly A site, the earlier poly A site and the exon just in front of it will be spliced out, which is exon 3. And the mRNA sequenced will consist of exon 1, exon 2 and exon 4.
Created using Powtoon.